All right. All right, bring over the multi-stream. Check Facebook right quick. Make sure I'm up.
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah.
Just popped up.
Okay.
Can't play video. Okay.
Say can't play video?
I'm about to go see right now.
Okay, we good then. Put this on Do Not Disturb. Brother Polite, what's happening? We about to get started right now. Baby, good?
I'm good.
All right. To a good podcast. I just forgot something. All right, welcome to Uncle Legend's Corner. I'll be your host, Uncle Legend. And with me, as always, is my beautiful co-host, called Girl 6, better known as Fox.
Hey, y'all.
What's happening, baby?
Nothing.
So today, we had a gun range event, range day, for my gun club, BGOE. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Black Gun Owners in Education. I'm the president out of Jacksonville, Florida.
And I'm the first lady.
And this beautiful woman is the first lady. So we had a good turnout. People came out, had fun, exercised the Second Amendment safely and efficiently. You know what I mean? Because ammo prices as high as giraffe pussy right now. So you gotta watch out what you're doing. If you hear any snapping or growling in the background, you know we got puppies. So the sound quality is gonna be affected by our four-legged puppies out here that's just out here doing crazy shit as Fox snaps at them and they look at us crazy. But if Peter's not watching this, I would like to say they're about one interruption away from being at Chinese walk down the street as a number 3 General Tso's chicken.
I don't condone that. So his views are his own.
The views that I speak of are not the views of Legendary Operations and
Nor
Tactical Supply as a whole
BGOE.
or BGOE. It is literally just Legend. Legend is tired of the puppies and their shenanigans. So anyway, we had a great day today, and then shout out, we was out there with the family, helped some people do some things. It's kind of beautiful for me as a gun instructor and a gun enthusiast that Fox, she's my muse, right? So she's the one who got me to do this in the first place, to become a gun instructor, to do everything else. So it's just been, there's two things that I love doing. If you know me, you know I love to teach and I love guns. So I got to incorporate them together. If it was a more lucrative thing, then I'd probably literally, it'd be just this and only this at the time that I retire. So it's been a beautiful run. So getting to teach people things about firearms, getting to teach them how to work their firearms better, maintenance, ammunition, just teaching all the things that a lot of times you just don't get access to. Like I think too many times, especially in the black community, that we either have people that act as gatekeepers, or we have people that we have like groups that like people really want to do stuff, but they just don't have like people who hold the prerequisite knowledge or bring that knowledge base. And if they do bring it, then they want to get paid for everything they do, which I don't knock them. Like I get paid for teaching gun classes, but when you come out to a BGOE event, you get a whole lot of free game, you know what I'm saying, without paying the tax for it. Like I ain't gonna give away the whole thing, but you getting you're gonna walk away full, you know what I mean, giving it out. So that was a great turnout. Then after we left that, had to get fitted for my dashiki. Again, I got to do so many fittings because we kind of last second. Just excuse the puppies. In fact, we're going to
take them and separate them.
Yeah, so Fox is going to take and
domestic
separate
dispute.
the puppies while I pause the audio because they're having a domestic dispute. So Yeah, Fox. You still got headphones on, baby. Still got headphones on. Yep. Thank you very much. Yeah, so they having a domestic dispute over there. So some of the things we're gonna go over today that we talked about was Kanye. We're gonna talk about some of the emails we got in and a few other things. Don't put him in the same crate. He's a little heavy to be grabbing by his scruff. No, just put him in there and shut him up. All right, then put him in the playpen. It's fine. Yo, so what was we about to talk about? Oh yeah, so the other thing while I'm entertaining y'all, waiting for my first lady to come back, is we went to a spot that we always go to in Jacksonville for calzones. So we done went there about 4 or 5 times for calzones. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start the audio back up. You good? You got to pick your headphones up off the ground where you left them. Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna have to remember what his audio break is so I can edit it later. All right. So we went to. So after we got done, I got fitted. Went to dashiki to the wedding. Got some work done to it. He had to get some more measurements, this, that, and the third. And then we went to this place that we always go for calzones. And we would pick calzones up from there, and they probably got the most fire calzones. Oh. That's not your drink. They probably got the most fire calzones that you see in that you get in Jacksonville, period. It's this place called Joseph's. So we always thought they was hitting because we always get our calzones. It's always right. Never had any issues with our order. So we decided, you know what, we ain't got too much going on. We'll sit in today. That was a terrible decision because they messed up our entrees. Our appetizers. Then messed up my entree and brought me out. I ordered a gyro pizza. And these dogs are ridiculous.
Oh my god!
This
is my fault because this was a part of my midlife crisis I was going through. To say I wanted 2 dogs. Okay.
Now we got 2 dogs, and now they in different cages. That's why they can't see each other. Go ahead, take the headphones off, put Rocky in the single cage, and I'm gonna just keep going with the Joseph's. So we went to Joseph's, and then asked them we got wings and calamari. So then we get the wings and calamari. They bring out fried cauliflower. I ain't got a whole lot against fried cauliflower. However, I am not much for the. Okay. And as far as the fried cauliflower, we didn't ask for it. So old girl back there, they bring it back, and she says this thing, and me and my best friend talk about this all the time, how I drive us crazy. When people say something like, oh, I accept full responsibility. Well, wasn't nobody about to blame nobody else but you. So when you sit there and talk about, I take full responsibility. Oh, they said, they did order calamari. He like, okay, yeah, that's what they said. She's like, well, what's the problem? You gave him cauliflower. She's like, oh, yeah, well, I messed that up. So then, okay, cool, we come through, food smack, whatever, might need a little more seasoning, it is what it is. And then I ordered a hero pizza, and she ordered something. Her order came out to be what she wanted it to be. And that's fine. But then we come back and they give me a buffalo chicken pizza. And I don't know if it was incompetence or racism. I'm going to just assume incompetence. But yeah, they came with that and wasn't what I asked for. She came back, was just like nonchalant about it. So I called text my best friend. I was like, yo, at what point do you say fuck the 20% tip and start docking? Like, they tried to make it right. They gave us a 10% off coupon for some things, and then they gave us and they gave us free brownies, and they obviously took the pizza off, and I ate a slice of it because they left it there, so I still ate the slice. The slice was all right. It just ain't what I ordered. All right. So whatever. So I don't think we ever gonna go back inside of Joseph's. We probably just gonna keep ordering our food to go and keep going, and hopefully maybe now, we can go ahead and record this podcast. You back with me, Fox?
I'm back with you, baby.
All right, so we got done with that. Big shout out to BGOE across the nation, but especially my team in Jacksonville. Phenomenal job today, and all the people who came out. And let's get into the shenanigans, baby. So we started watching that Kanye Netflix, right? What's it called, Genius?
Yes.
I want to say it's called Genius. And watching that one, skip all the stuff that Kanye doing currently right now, right? Let's just talk about that. Let's talk about Kanye, like just seeing him coming up. You see like why he got the chip on his shoulder about being great. Yo, B Rabbit said I would have tipped her 78 cents in a pack of Annihilators. First of all, you wild as hell if you think I was about to waste a pack of Annihilators on that crappy ass service, right? But, as it is, wound up still tipping it. I think the meal was like 60 once they took everything off. And then,
as nice as she was, it still wasn't.
yeah, it's like, and
value.
it's like when I'm tipping you, the cook don't get none of this because the only thing good about that meal was the food. So the cook don't get none of this. So I'm basically tipping you for my service. And it wasn't nothing to write home about. But so the Kanye West. So looking at that, it started off with Kanye West when basically it take place right around the time that he just finished doing like half a Blueprint. So he just did he produced half of the Blueprint thing. He wanted to start getting banging with the music. And I ain't gonna go too far into this because I know a lot of people. I ain't gonna get like the crazy spoilers, but two things that's crazy about it is that nobody would even give that dude a chance and listen. And the first song that he was trying to put out to people was like, "It All Falls Down." Yeah. Which is a banger, like a banger. It All Falls Down. I mean, the production, everything was just a banger. Nobody was even trying to hear it. They wouldn't even give Kanye a chance. He done tried to give it a whole bunch of people, but back then, it wasn't like now where you could just get on the internet and get crazy. Yeah, it was like you had to go through the producers and gatekeepers.
So let's just stop all that, okay? Guys, listen. We tried to watch that first episode of that, and I don't know. The guy who's narrating it,
Cootie. Yeah.
He sound like Forrest Gump. I couldn't. Yeah. Okay.
And it's a crazy combination because he sound like Forrest Gump and Kanye West's mouth looked like Bubba Gump with them damn retainers.
That was crazy. So this is how he sounds. And Kanye went, and then I don't know, whatever. What the hell? Is this a joke? I'm starting to think, is he really just doing this?
Yo, Fox started making wild ass comments through it. She was up to Kanye was like, yeah, and I was making beats and she in the back like, and I was running.
And I was running.
Yeah, just making all types of wild shit.
Oh my God, it's crazy. I couldn't even get through it because his voice was so annoying.
Yeah, his voice.
To narrate like that, I'm starting to wonder if he was just doing it just because. You know how Forrest Gump narrated his movie?
Yeah, and it was just like the pitch of it. It's like he has no inflection in his voice. So it's like as things get hype.
Monotonous all the way through.
Like, if you think my voice monotonous, this dude right here is wild. Like, it's just, yeah, and then we went to do this, and then I knew that they didn't know what a star that Kanye was. And it's like, bro, I know they country in the Midwest, but he sound like he from like deep South. Like
Greenbow, Alabama.
Yeah, Greenbow, Alabama, deep South. Like the dude is
shout out to Greenbow.
Yeah, he was not a narrator type to say the least.
If it's a Greenbow, is it a Greenbow?
I don't know. It sounds like it should be a Greenbow, Alabama, or whatever. This is Greenbow somewhere in the South. I think it's one in North Carolina too.
Certain.
But so far the documentary seemed good. It's just hard with the narration and whatever, and then it's just even hard sometimes listening to Kanye talk with that damn retainer in.
Oh yeah.
Like listening to him talk with the retainer in is just like
he looks so different, but it's just crazy overall how he got rejected so many times based on him being a rapper when he was this formidable producer. He wasn't signed anywhere, and everybody just kind of rejected him. So it just kind of makes me think, just seeing that blurb of it, it's just like, success. It comes with many failures, It's hard.
Yeah, any like great success that you look at is people had to go through a lot to get there. Like most of them success stories you hear from Jordan, getting cut from his high school team, something like didn't make the high school team, to becoming arguably the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball, to talking about Steph Curry, he went to Davidson, unrecruited, really heavy and stuff like that, came out there not really super athletic. You know what I mean? And obviously I think about athletes when I cut Tom Brady, 6th round, like 6th or 7th round of the draft. I want to say 6, and now he the GOAT, 7 Super Bowl wins.
Anything worth having is not easily attained.
Yeah, and just watching Kanye though, what I'm telling you, when you watch this documentary, take note to the relationship that he has with his mother.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
It literally kind of like, because I lost my mother, which is almost 2 years now. I lost my mother almost 2 years ago, and it is it's crazy how close that they were. When you could tell, like Kanye, like he's a little like quirky, and he's a little off, and you could tell like in there, but he's still, he's a semi-hood dude from Chicago. He's kind of like the linchpin between, like, if you take people from the arts and stuff like that, and then you take people from over here and over there, and you combine them all up to make like this one like person. It's like that's kind of what Kanye is. But the relationship that he had with his mother, whose name is Donda, obviously named his album, if you didn't know, the Donda album was after his mother. You could tell she's like his biggest fan.
supporter,
supporter.
motivator.
It's a part in there where she started rapping a song that he didn't even remember.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And she was up to like, yeah, and she's
Biggest
rapping
fan,
it, and you know, she got the old school, like slow, you know what I mean, kind of like 80s flow, that late 80s flow or whatever. But she's rapping his song and reminding him his lyrics. Like, imagine how crazy that is for your mom to be so in tune with what you do, that she know your lyrics, and they had to remind you what your lyrics are, and then they kind of remembered the song together. And it was such a beautiful moment, right? Just such a beautiful moment. And watching them, I could see how hard it is losing your mother, period, right?
Seemed like they were best friends.
Yeah, like best friends. And this just the gems that she was dropping, like talking to him, and she'll say that type of enlightening stuff that you just feel like, damn, we gonna have to talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was just dropping gems, and it's crazy. And she was just like fun. Like, she just saying fun. She was a school teacher. You can see that he was like probably like well educated with a lot of things and a lot of thought processes. And she did something that a lot of us have forgotten how to do these days. And she taught Kanye how to dream. Now, I think too many times, like in school nowadays, we teach kids writing, reading, arithmetic. I should say math. I sound old as hell saying arithmetic, but we teach like all these the humanities and all this, but we don't teach kids how to dream. It's almost to a point like when people dream, like you remember back in the day, people would dream, and then people would dream, you just like, all right, whatever. Like, even if you ain't believing it, you be like, all right, cool, go for it, man, whatever. And now it's like, it's almost like with this generation, it's almost like embarrassing to dream. Like if we were kids now and I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna go to the NBA, and you're like, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean?
And it does take a toll on us as parents as well. Like, you know, there you go, like some sort of trauma, right? So we don't know how to teach our kids how to dream and how to go further in whatever it is that they think that they want to do, be, feel. Okay, go ahead and do that, be that.
That's why I tell my sons like, don't have kids until you're older. And it's not to say that my kids weren't a blessing, but my aversion to risk increased. I guess I'm really saying my aversion to risk increased because I wanted a steady job, but then I went to fucking Iraq. Like, that wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't exactly the safest job in the world. But you know what I mean? You know, in the military, they was going to be taken care of compared to like the other things. And it's like, some of these people, you've seen them and they never had a plan B. And it's just something about being able to dream. Like, it's scary as parents. And because you want your kid to be safe. And like, I was listening to a podcast today that had one of my favorite MMA fighters, and is Israel Ayasanda, right? And he's they call him Stylebender and middleweight champ. And that dude is nasty, but he's Nigerian, right? So, and Nigerians will always, they got like the same complex that a lot of like Indian parents have, and African parents, Indian parents, Asian parents have, where it's like, if you ain't a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, like one of those, like, I know you're going to make six figures and be good, then you're a failure type of thing. So it's hard that people almost have to like lose that dream, because like the beauty of having parents that are immigrants is that they invest values and things in you and believe in you in a way that a lot of times we don't as American parents. But on the flip side of it, it's like, they're like, I went through hell to get here. Right. So I need you to do some shit. Like, I need you to do something safe. I need guaranteed money. I need whatever.
Be greater, do better.
Yeah, so Wick in the comments, he said critical thinking is not promoted in schools due to corporate interests. When kids come out of school, corporations want people to shut up and stay in the cubicle. I mean, that's pretty true. Yeah, that's the idea behind society, where it's like, we don't even teach people like a large skill set. We teach people to be specialists. And they get so specialized in one field that they don't have an idea about any of the rest of them. And B Rabbit hopped in and said, because people are mostly focused on guaranteed income, pretty much what I'm saying, yeah. And financial security became more important to our generation because so much of us grew up without it. Yeah.
So we lost sight of what it means to actually, like you're saying, actually dream. I mean, we can go just above and beyond whatever it is, whatever stagnation that society has placed in before us.
But you got to be willing to take that gamble. And it's like, as a parent, I understand that, because it's like, I grew up in poverty. But I made a life, I feel as though since I didn't really take the risk, I feel like my kids can't take the risk. Because I'm in a position now where like I couldn't just go home and wind up being successful. Like, one of our kids needed to come home. They can come home, we'll work with them, teach them some stuff, do some things, you know what I'm saying, and get them back out there for round 2, you know what I'm saying, round 3, round 4, whatever they got to do. There was no, I ain't get round one. Like,
Right,
it was like, get your
one.
ass out here on these
So
streets.
it's amazing how, when you look back at your parenting versus your parents' parenting. I don't know about everybody else's parents, right? But my father was very strict. Come from Jamaica, of course. Mother, Georgia Peach. Anyway, blah, blah. But, so he was very strict with the girls, right? So everything I or my sister were able to do, it kind of was like we were criticized the most for everything. The boys could get away with murder if they needed to.
I think like, that was I think also that might have been like the stigma for that time too, because like as a father, as the head of the household, pretty much you're not judged on the success of your daughter, you're judged on her not being a whore. Like, right. That's kind of how that era they grew up in.
Don't bring the baby home.
Yeah, to keep your daughter off the pole.
You have to bring the baby home. He don't have to.
Yeah, it's like, keep your daughter off the pole. Y'all, because with boys, you only got to worry about one dick. With a girl, you got to worry about all the rest of the dicks. Like,
but really?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
But my thing was that, talking about finances and things. So my father, this is what he did. When I was, I think, 6th or 7th grade, he threw a bunch of Susie Orman books at me. He threw a bunch. He was like, you need to read this. You need to read this. Okay. In 7th grade. Like, I don't care about this. What do you mean? Just read it.
I want
read
chips.
It and tell me what it says. Okay. And I did just that. I read it and I tell him what it says about bonds, about trusts, about, a little bit about stocks, stuff like that. So I would regurgitate what I read, but I didn't understand any of it. I didn't understand any of it, nor was he in a position to teach me.
Yeah,
any
that's
of it.
The other thing.
So where did we go with that? He thought he did the best he could with.
Well,
hey,
he did do the best he could.
I'm presenting you with this, so do something with it. How am I supposed to do something when I don't know what that something is?
But you got to think, for him, he probably didn't even get presented that.
He didn't. Yeah.
So it's like, how many times do we look back and be like, "Damn, I wish somebody had taught me this as a kid."
It's like, you smart here, make it enough.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So I think we deal with it where we as parents, it's like we look at what we didn't have and we try to give them. So that's why it goes back to that cycle that we was talking about like strong men, strong people, for those who gonna get offended, whatever. But strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make bad times. Bad times make strong men. Continue the cycle. So it's like, I don't know. I can't exactly say as we go back and forth, right? Because what happens is we stay in that cycle because we don't know our history well enough that it winds up repeating itself. Like, so a guy tell you, it's this guy who told the big homie Dave, and he was talking to him about it. Like, hey, when I grew up, I rode I rode a camel or a donkey or something, right? And then he said my dad rode a donkey. And then I drove a car. Now my son drives a supercar. Well, my grandson needs to be back on that donkey or that camel or whatever, because he needs to get that grit back in him. He needs to learn that grit, because after a while, it's like the glitter and gold kind of wears off. Yeah. But I think looking at Kanye, it shows like
So just by you saying it, just kind of made me, realize certain things about life, where in which everything will eventually even and settle itself out. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? What I'm trying to. So everything.
A balance has to be maintained.
Yes, it's going to be maintained.
Yeah,
so
balance
if
is
all
going to be
this
maintained.
Chaos is going on, then eventually.
But chaos is balance.
I know that you need this for that, right?
Yeah.
So you need this for that, but it just made me realize that how many things can go wrong. Then all of a sudden, boom, somebody just gets it, and it just.
She was chasing the dog was chasing her tail, and then she looked at you like, "What I do?" When you snapped your finger, she's like, "What I do?"
That's a
so that balance has to be maintained, but it's a hard thing to maintain. And like we might have talked about it before, but I had a CEO who talked to me about it. He was from Chicago, Indian dude from Chicago, and he was just explaining when we got into a conversation about something, because he's from Chicago, I'm from Newark, and we was talking about like toughness, and he was like, I used to think the same thing. We wound up talking about toughness, and he was like, but it really comes down to like, what are you making your kids tough enough for? Right, so you'll talk about like, what are you making your kids tough enough for? So it's like, I don't need my kids to be tough enough to gangbang. I don't want them to gangbang.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't need my kids tough enough to I don't need them to be ridiculously street smart. I need them to be street smart enough to like survive, like to know when
they don't have the same struggles we had. So it's different. It has to be.
But two things that changed that for me is that conversation with him, and another thing we did. So I went to school in Newark, predominantly black and Hispanic city. You know what I mean? That you go through. So we used to always go and play. My whole team black. You know what I mean? And we would go sometimes and play the white schools. So one time, this white boy. He cooking. I'm talking about he cooking. He busting one of my.
You said they told us this before.
Oh yeah, on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. But I mean, he basically just showed toughness, and it's like you don't need to be gritty and from the city to be tough. You know what I mean? This kid was tough. Mm-hmm. He was Larry Bird tough though. Like when you look at a dude like Larry Bird wild. So ain't nobody going. Larry Bird, when white dudes would come and Larry Bird, he'd say, "Why y'all put the white boy on me?" Because he knew that the white boy, like at that time, realistically, and still the NBA is a predominantly black profession. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why you put the white boy on me? Go get one of the black dudes on me. You know what I mean? So he had that type of attitude, and it was like that toughness came from French Lick, Indiana, or something like that. Like he wasn't in the hood; he was out here shooting in cornfields or something like that. But that toughness don't got to be there. So you got, and it's different types of toughness. Like I don't have the toughness that you had for customer service and HR and stuff like that. Like you code switch, boom, yes, hello, this and that, and I'd be in there like, hey man, fuck you and 4 people that look like you.
Let me tell you how hard that was for me. My work now that we went telephonic, it's like it's a lot. It was rough for me, especially in the beginning.
I know in the beginning you used to.
Let me tell you,
in the beginning you used to come.
It's not the best,
especially when you were still working in the office.
Yes,
you used to come home, and I'm talking about you'll just drop the baggage at the door like I hate everybody. It's like. I just wanted to crack some cheeks.
And then I can say what I want to say in person, you know?
Yeah.
But over the phone, it's all recorded, and so I can't give them a piece of my mind.
Yeah, you can't give them that piece of mind you really want to. But yeah, so I thought back to the Kanye thing, I thought it was wild. Just looking at it and looking at that relationship, and it's kind of like I consider Kanye in the like 3 chapters, right? Like this is the 3rd chapter of his life as far as being an entertainer for me. Mm-hmm. Like there's that Kanye that I'm looking at there that was young, hungry, where it's like, I remember when I first started hearing Kanye rap, I was like, yo, this kid nice. You know what I'm saying? Like he is nice. You know what I mean? He was rapping this and that. Then you saw him with one of the backstage things when he's back there with Talib Kweli. And it's like, and Yasin Bey or whatever. You used to be Mos Def and Wood Harrison. But I'm telling you right now, you got to know, anybody who know hip hop got to know Mos Def is lethal.
Oh,
like
yeah,
everybody.
He was one of my favorite. Him, Common.
Don't tell me about Common. Don't talk to me about Common on this goddamn podcast. Fox got a man crush on Common, and we ain't doing it on this podcast today.
Man.
And Method. Who did you breathe like that?
I just was late. I was breathing. Stop. I was.
Actual gun to your head. Like that's what's about to happen. Around if you want to. Tell Common to pay some goddamn rent around here first, and then maybe we'll get something done. But no, just looking at it, he was like just so nice, so talented, and just seeing that hunger. And he just was different. Like watching Kanye come out with the book bags and all the other stuff, he was just different, man. Like his style was different. He was flying fresh in a different way. Like while everybody else was still wearing like size 48, you know what I mean, Jabot jeans is halfway strapped with the jerseys that's crazy. His was a little slimmer. He was matching like crazy colors, like doing burgundy and green and just a little stuff that you'll look at and be like, damn, that's kind of wild, Kanye.
Yeah, but we definitely look forward to completing it. Hopefully you can get through it without that.
Forrest Gump wearing high ass out. Oh, my
God, I just can't.
Wearing high ass out.
I'm going to try, guys. I'm going to try. So we'll see about that, though. But in other news, what's in other news?
Oh, so some of the feedback we was getting from the last podcast. So what was the other thing you wanted to talk about? It was something else that we said because Fox just threw this podcast on me. I was laying across the bed and she set up the lights and everything was like, we podcasting.
Well, because we've been off schedule for over a week, you know, getting ready for the wedding and back and forth with different things. So I just kind of wanted to get some sense of normalcy back to our podcast, even though this is a off day. We normally record tomorrow.
I wasn't even going to say it.
Wednesday and Sunday, but we might be busy tomorrow. So just wanted to do it now.
Yeah. What I just say? There was a work text just came in. And I completely lost my train of thought.
No, we were just going to talk about the next topic that we had on that.
Oh yeah. So when so people was fussing. So podcast with that podcast before last.
Yeah.
So this is what 12?
2 or 3 podcasts ago.
So this is 12. So like episode 10, either 9 or 10. We was talking about the topic of discussion was
Should it be
disclosed?
Yes.
First, we started with should it be disclosed? Like, for instance, if like Fox had a whole bunch of surgery, right? Like she had a breast implant, BBLs, all this other stuff, got a nose done and everything else. Should she have to disclose that information? And then the second question was, if you are transsexual, should you have to disclose that information?
Mm-hmm.
And so got a lot of flack on that. Where they like. So first, women jumped off the deep end on your boy, but you know what I mean? I'm good. Shield of misogyny, holding tight. But they came at your boy with well, why do women got to disclose this and why do women got to disclose that? It's like, it's just like what people say about like to me it was one of them things where it's like omission is betrayal type of thing where it's like I don't know all of this stuff about you. Just like it's going to change some things for you if you had found out I told you all this stuff about. Like, oh, I portrayed that I was in the military and I had a stable job and I had some things. Because it's like, you told me from the get-go, I ain't saying that you got to be rich, but you was like, I ain't trying to pay all the bills by myself.
Yeah, so it's just like, disclosure is everything to me. It's like a part of being honest, right? Everybody wants to go and say, well, if you love me, it shouldn't matter. But okay, so you're right. So that means you need to disclose that information and let them chips fall where they may at the end of the day. So it's like if you're dating somebody, right? Okay, I'm letting them know, first of all, hey, I got 3 kids, whatever, I birthed 3 kids, so take it or leave it.
Birthing is important.
Right, or, just dating regardless of whatever the situation is. I let people know up front what they're dealing with so that way they can decide whether or not they want to deal with this or not. I want the true feelings, the true whatever it may be that they're going to come with, because that saves me a lot of heartache in the end. If they find out XYZ about me, then I've wasted all this time. I went through all this hardship for what? If you were just going to leave, you're going to leave right now.
Yeah, but I also, so like, I feel like I get it with like women don't want to disclose some of the stuff about surgery, but it's like women fake beauty, men fake security and money and stuff like that, right? Like we act like we tough, we act like we can fight, we act like we got money. So when a woman fakes all this beauty, it's like, it should be some things that I know. Cause it's like when my kid come out looking like a platypus, I want to know why. Because either A, you were the platypus, or B, you fucked the platypus behind my back.
No, I think that's a superficial reason because
I don't want ugly kids?
No, it's not even that. Because 2 beautiful people, as we know and have seen, can make a not so beautiful looking child. So that's a superficial. That's why I say that's a superficial reason. But when you're talking about disclosing, it is not a matter of, so the question, there's a matter of when it should be disclosed, right? Something like your sexuality or your gender, whatever the correct terminology is for what you were when you were born, that's something that should be disclosed up front. You shouldn't hide that from anybody.
So the pushback that I got, I touched on it in the podcast, but you could tell when people just kind of like spot and hit. I know somebody got to be listening and be like, look, he said this. Now I know how like Joe Rogan and them cats be feeling when like something gets snipped. People hear that one little bit and they like, hear this sound bite. And it's like, well, you know what? The podcast must be the podcast must be getting kind of popular if I'm getting sound bites. But but the thing is like I understand that there is a risk to transsexual people, because it's like you might like, it's like if I was to go out and a woman was to tell me, oh, I used to be a man, I'd be like, oh, all right, cool, have a great day or something like that. That's not my preference, which I'm entitled to my preference, just like everybody else is. And it seems like in today's world sometimes that everybody is entitled to a preference except for straight men. Right. Like women of every sexual preference can have whatever they want.
Here, take what you get. And don't get what you get and don't have a fit.
Yeah, but it's like women can say like, I want a man who's this. I want a man who makes this much money. He got to look like this. He got to have a dick like a fire hose. He got to have all of this stuff or something like that. Or whatever, and they can have a preference, and it's just like, girl, yeah, that's what I want too. But as soon as a dude say I want anything, like I want a woman who was born a woman.
Nah, you doing too much.
I want a woman who works out. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Doing too much. Oh, you shallow. Yeah. Well, women been shallow too, so it's like keep the same energy with your sister that you keep with your brother, right? So, but with the gender thing, I think people are entitled to like what they like. If they want a woman who was born a woman, or were born female, or however the proper way to say it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, so you know what I mean, don't get your panties in a bunch. But it's like whatever it was that terminology is for this right here, a woman who was born a woman, who is like, if that's what I want, that's my preference. Like, because like women can have a perfect, and this the wild thing about like all of the like different communities and stuff like that. As a woman, like we know it's more of a bias towards if you like women, I'm just like, oh yeah, you like women. Oh yeah, tell me more about them women. But if it was a dude, if I told you like, oh yeah, like if you was like in college, I slept with a girl one time, I was like, you want to revisit that? What's up? What's happening? Maybe we could do it together. Yeah. But then if I was to say like, yo, when I was on the football team at Rutgers, you know what I mean, we had a party and this and that happened. Yeah, and then you like, oh no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good because I don't want to have to compete for my man with another man. But that's cool to have your to like what you like. But as soon as I say something like I like a girl with pretty feet, it's like, get them out of here.
Yeah, that is unfair. That's the reality of it. It is unfair, and it is definitely a social bias when it comes to that. So, I was going to say something too about that. Okay, so what I do appreciate is when you're on the dating sites and they say whatever they are, they have their age and then TS, you know?
Yeah.
Or whatever. So somebody will know what they're dealing with before they deal with it.
Gentlemen, that does not mean top shelf.
What's the worst thing? Whether you're going to tell somebody up front and have them dismiss the situation or wait to fall in love, then tell hoping that it's going to go the way you want after 5 years and then it goes completely wrong.
Yeah.
You understand?
Because they was talking about a story where that I heard about. It was a Marine.
Save yourself the heartache is my thing.
Yeah, it was this Marine. He was with a woman, a transsexual woman, so used to be a dude. And then he found out when they was getting married. One, he dumb as hell. And I think I talked about this on that same podcast I brought up. He was dumb as hell. Like, you ain't seen nothing. Like the name was still, like if the name was Chuck, name was still Chuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you just calling Ashley Chuck. So it's like, you just ain't looking. You about to marry somebody, you ain't seen an ID, a birth certificate, something by the time you about to marry somebody. It's crazy, but I think he beat her and I think almost killed her, if not killed her.
Oh, no.
Right? So I'm not saying that's
terrible.
right. And people be like, oh, well, that's terrible. You know, men's insecure, masculine. But the whole thing about it is just like, don't play with people too. Like, I mean, I ain't saying it's right to put your hands on nobody. But you also got to understand, like, there is freedom of speech and freedom of expression and freedom to hold information and freedom to do this and that. But there's not, and there's freedom of love. There's not freedom of consequences. Yeah. So it's like when people decide to bump their gums, and like it's just like if somebody decided to bump their gums to me, you got freedom of speech. You run up on me on the street, you be like, hey, your podcast suck. I'm like, all right, cool. And they be up to like, and you're ugly. All right, cool. And I don't like your old lady because she just, and then I knock all your teeth out. You got freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom to not be able to box and talk shit to me in person.
Yeah.
Like, that's something you don't got, right? There's not freedom of consequence, right? Like, you can say whatever you want. Just be willing to take the consequences. You can do whatever you want. It's like what I tell dudes that work for me, work with me, or I work for. It's like in the military, it's like, do what you can afford. If you can afford to go to NJP and lose half month's pay or get kicked out the military or do without this, if you can afford all of that, if you can afford your wife to leave you, if you can afford the DUI, if you can afford the child support, do whatever you want if you can afford it. Yeah. I can't afford a DUI. I can't afford to get kicked out of the military. I can't afford all this stuff.
So in the chat, okay, Wick was saying, I'd say if you're dating, you don't have to disclose your medical procedures, in which I do agree with that to a certain extent. So before you get married, I say you should be honest if you used to be a different gender. That I did have that same idea and thought process. However, how much time has passed since you guys started dating versus the getting married phase when you guys feel like you're getting serious with one another? So now, if this person, like I was just saying, is not okay with dating someone who used to be an opposite sex or whatever the situation is, you're going to have a problem. Both of you going to have a problem. Yeah. You got two lives that's been changed now because of it. You know, so my thing is, and this is only my opinion, is that if you're going to be true and be who you are, just be 100% upfront, because you'd be surprised. There are so many people who will accept you for who you are instead of you waiting and hoping, oh, well, he loved me so much or she loved me so much. It's not going to matter. It might matter to some people.
And it's like you got it.
So you're taking that risk. Yeah, you're deceitful. You're being deceitful without disclosing that information, and you're taking away that person's freedom to allow them to choose whether or not they want to deal with that issue or not. That's just my personal opinion. That's why I'm always thorough. I'm always 100% with who I am. You're either gonna take it, leave it, like it, love it,
and this is just something to take with relationship advice in general. Is like, it's always something great about being yourself, because there's some women that I've met and then that, like for instance, Fox is an acquired taste, but she's my taste. So it's like, cool, Fox might not be for everybody, but Fox is for me. So I don't really care what's for everybody, right? I care what's for me. So I fuck with Fox. They think
I'm for them, but they don't really know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
They don't know. Like, y'all be sitting here thinking like, man, she fine as hell. She sounded real good on the podcast. You wouldn't survive a fucking week with Fox. You wouldn't make it a week.
Off with your bloody head.
Yeah, you wouldn't survive a week with Fox. You motherfuckers ain't got enough muscular and you ain't got enough muscular and mental toughness to deal with. You ain't got the emotional toughness to deal with Fox. Because I'm telling you right now, Fox is going to bring it at whatever level you bring it, meet you there, the whole nine. Y'all might think.
You're going to see God. That's what you're going to do.
You're going to see God and ask him, like, is this my purpose? Is this why I'm here? Really? You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it's one of them things you always hear, like, I'm going to always be myself. And I remember this was on a sample on a record, and I don't remember which record it came from, but it was on a rap song that I like. And it said, like, yo, I'm going to be myself. I'd rather you not like me for being me, because ain't nothing worse than you like me for being somebody else, because I can't do a do-over.
Right.
Because if I play and pretend to be dude A, and you like, I don't like dude A, but I like you. I'm like, damn, Fox, dope as hell. And I'm trying to be dude A, and you like, I don't like dude A. Now I'm like, no, really, I'm dude B. You already like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
I just wish it was a world where people who have changed and they don't feel so uncomfortable with being and speaking their truth of
I think
who they feel, who they know that they are.
But the truth of the matter is, like, I understand what people are saying from that community, where it's like, I get it, because I know some dudes I know some dudes that they'll bust your ass. You come with that, like, y'all go on a date and you say like, yeah, I was born a man. Now you're gonna have to fight like one, because he on your ass, bucko. You know what I mean? So like, I understand the danger in that. I just think about it from a perspective of like, I just don't know when the right time to tell somebody is, because I understand from a safety perspective, you're probably worried about this and that. So obviously maybe the first date don't work, but sometimes you got to have, like, if you were living that lifestyle, unfortunately it's not fair, but maybe you got to have like some type of vetting process to know, like, to get a good warm fuzzy, maybe. I don't know that maybe this dude won't smoke my boots or something like that.
And sometimes that warm fuzzy don't even matter. That's why I really appreciate the people who are like upfront, like, hey, this is me. Whatever the terminology is going to be for that, now you decide. I don't even got to deal with you. We'll know this right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
That saves to me, it saves so much heartache. Because to wait and hope for a whim, like, oh my God,
maybe I can win them over. Maybe I could change their preference.
It's not gonna work like that. It's gonna be so much difficulty involved.
All right,
with that.
here go one case that I would think about. So what if? So you go get a BBL, your 6-pack popping out here. You go get it all done, get the abs etched and this and that, and say I was some great in shape dude and I wanted to live a fitness lifestyle. I see you look like you live a fitness lifestyle.
Well, so that I'm gonna say that happened. That hadn't happened before, because obviously, my booty ain't that big, but definitely, nor am I that fit. Like, I'm chunky and stuff now, so it is what it is. But
you fine though.
I know. So I definitely feel like I'm just gonna tell him, like, if he feel this, oh, you like what you see, you know what, you in all this. I'm not really in all that fitness like that. Like, I hate working out. I hate working out, and here's why I hate working out. Oh, yeah, but you look so great. Da, 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 da. I got some stuff done. I'm not afraid. That's different. It varies from person to person.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to say XYZ about myself.
So do you think that should be mandatory if that's the case? Like, I like a fitness lifestyle, and what if you're portraying, like, you're advertising a fitness lifestyle because you're in great shape? Ain't too many people that got them genetics that you look at. I don't think
that they're advertising a fitness lifestyle.
If somebody look like they in shape,
good.
No, it's a difference between a woman with a flat stomach and a woman with a 6-pack. Like, if you thick with a 6-pack, like if you are 5'9", 190 pounds with a 6-pack, you work out. There's no genetics that just make you like, oh no, I just look like this. No, you work out, right? Or you had work done and got abs etched and stuff like that. So I'm wondering, like, is there somewhere a line?
I think that the line, it varies from person to person. Like I was saying, I don't know about it being mandatory, but just for me, I feel like, oh, if this what got you, then let me let you know what the real deal is.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying is, like, I guess that's probably you hit the fucking nail on the head. Is like, I think maybe it should be if you know this is what it, like, we need to be mature enough to know what attracted the other person sometimes, right? And everybody can't know that. And I know it's always somebody who got a reason, a lame ass excuse of why that shit don't work. But like, if I looked at you and I was like, yo, this is what attracted me, and that's not yours, you should let me know. Like, if you saw me in a McLaren, dope ass sports car, I'll pull up and you like, oh, he got a McLaren? Come on, baby, get something. So you go do that.
Oh, it ain't yours? Oh, okay.
I should let you know that that's not mine if that's what pulled you. It's and that's the difference
Instead of being selfish to try to get whatever it is that you think you're seeking.
Yeah, so like what I'm saying, and what I say with that is like, so I'm faking money. Now, if I drove up to the club in the McLaren, I met you inside, and then me and you were both drinking, so we called an Uber somewhere, and then we went and ate Denny's, IHOP, Waffle House or something, had a great time, Ubered home, and then, you know what I mean, we've been talking on the phone for like a week or something like that, and then you don't find out, and then like you might have seen the McLaren or something like that. That wasn't really a big deal. I think that's different. Like we clicked on that level, but it's a difference when it's like I picked you up in the car and was like, look at my car. And I think people aren't mature enough to admit when they're advertising something that it's not, like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's
dudes,
a big part of it.
Yeah, like dudes aren't mature enough to say like, well, I advertise money, so that's why I'm getting gold diggers. And women ain't mature enough a lot of times to say I advertise
Just
sex,
body.
so that's why I just get a bunch of hard dick and bubble gum.
Yeah.
We fresh out of bubble gum. You know what I'm saying? So, B Rabbit, on the freedom of speech, she said, I often like to remind people that freedom of speech is only a Western concept. A good portion of the world will still smoke your boots if you talk slightly greasy. Big facts.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
true.
you can sit there and be like, I have freedom of speech, and get your head chopped off in Jamaica. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like freedom of speech, disrespect, bang,
Right.
bang, right in the damn C2. Get them out of here, right?
Yeah.
Brad B. Wicker said, the worst is when people put filters on their pictures for dating apps. In my opinion, that is just absolutely lying on yourself. You think you're about to date a fine honey, and then during the date, she looked like a low budget Chris Rock.
Oh my God, Chris Rock.
But that is crazy because it's like women to fake that, and it's just like, it's crazy. And I think the problem is like, when you sit there about that, it's harder for me to fake money on a dating app than it is for you to fake beauty on a dating app. Because you could put filters on, do this and that,
filters.
Yeah, filters. Because I done seen, like, we know some women with some filters that's like,
yeah, we
like out of this world.
We're not gonna get into all that.
Just like if we even just think about Haiti, like, you know what I'm saying? If we think about old girl, you know what I'm saying? You look at some women and you see that filter and it's like, damn, and then you see them and then you got the nerve to come with the same Instagram confidence in real life. No.
Like,
calm your voice. You know what I'm saying? It's like when women be saying like, yo, if your dick ain't this big, lower your voice when you talk to me. It's like, if you use 9 filters on your Snapchat and Instagram to send me a picture, lower your goddamn voice for me, and we going Dutch.
Don't say nothing.
Yeah, they be up to like, but I like it was the case where it was the girl, she dude met on Instagram. Sucker move, get it. Dude met on Instagram, paid to fly out because she was fine as hell on Instagram.
She got flued out.
Yeah, she got flued out. Now she wasn't she wasn't ugly, but it's kind of like to go ahead and objectify a woman. Apparently, like the picture she sent, I didn't see the picture she sent, but let's say the picture she sent was like out of this world 10, and then she show up and she a 7.5. She not ugly.
There was somebody like that in the group that I'm in. I don't know if he flew her out, so it was different. But he was posting the fact that, hey y'all, what would y'all do? You see this woman looking like this, but when she came here, she looked like this. And I told her to kick rocks. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
First of all, when I saw this person, I'm like, oh, she's gorgeous. And then when I saw that person, I'm like, dang, she's beautiful without makeup, anything. So you kicked her out because she didn't look like this with makeup on? Like, what?
So like, I think, but that's
the ideas, the
but
conditioning is
but no, that's still your judgment. That might have not been beautiful to him,
and it wasn't clearly because everybody was clearly clowning him. Like,
but what you got to think? Say he used to dealing with these women and he's obsessed with this Hollywood idea of perfection. You
gotta go to bed with makeup on. Like who are you? And you look at him.
Okay, but think about this. This is the world we live in, where it's like if you not like. You know how long it takes and the level of maturity you have to have as a man to figure out like all of this shit fake. Like, you know, because when we young, just think about cats that's young now. Kids are in elementary school and they're seeing girls online with filters and girls is in elementary school with full faces.
Yeah, you think, and it's hard to compete against that. This is what they have to work towards. That is so true. Like, I'm just really thinking about
Yeah.
it. Our elementary school kids looking at these women
Full
every day.
faces.
And all their pictures, they're glammed
Airbrushed.
up. Like, they look in the mirror like, I don't look like any of that.
Any of that.
I'm not pretty. I'm
I
not
don't
good
have
enough.
this. I'm not good enough because
Oh
that's
my
what
God.
everybody want. Because when they go talk to the boys at school, you know what I'm saying? Like when we went to school, you know what I'm saying? I was talking about women that you could emulate. You know what I mean? Like if you had to make me in school, they're like, yo, who you think fine? Janet Jackson, before all the surgery or something like that. Or who you think fine? Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm looking at women like that. And I'm like, that's not like unobtainable beauty.
Right.
That's like you. Like if I had to told you was like, what do you think the most beautiful woman in the world was? We was in school, and I'd be like, Erykah Badu. You'd be like, I could do Erykah Badu. You know what I'm saying? This and that. But when I tell you it's Kim Kardashian or Nicki Minaj or something, now you're like, oh, that's. You know what I mean? When I tell you it's Lauryn Hill and you looking at somebody, you looking at this beautiful woman that's built like a 10-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't really like, that's unobtainable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think like it starts at such a young age that they'll start, and they got full faces of makeup and everything else. So kids see this, and then they see the girls at school, and then everybody got, the filters is crazy, and dudes are using filters now.
Good.
Dudes are using filters.
They
I remember
better
when
on each update actually.
I remember when we met, you was like, you look better in person. And I was like, really? You was like, you can't take a picture for shit.
Yeah.
You was like, you can't take a picture for shit because I don't smile in pictures. You know, I'm used to taking my pictures like I do in the military. It's like, I'm a killer. Fuck am I smiling for? You know what I'm saying? Like, or if I do smile, it's gonna be some wild, crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like, but I just wasn't into all that, right? And it's just one of them things where it's
gotta
hard.
always be real. Like, you know, you remember my dating profile. We met online, by the way, guys. So
that don't mean y'all gonna have no luck because y'all still the same fucked up people in real life, so y'all gonna deal with it. But we alright. Like,
we met online, and my profile, like I had my dressed up pictures on there and everything.
The realest shit ever though, right here.
But I also had a picture of me without my makeup, and I had a couple pictures with my natural hair. Even though some of the pictures I had my wigs on, because I had like 36 wigs, 32 wigs. Like, I love wigs. And I just, because I wanted to be my authentic self. I wanted to show, hey, yeah, I look like this, and I do clean up profoundly, but I also, this is how I look without all of this. Now do you still want me? My
biggest thing about Fox is that, like, when I seen her with everything else, when I looked at her bare skin, I was like, I could wake up to that. And I think a lot of times with like all the extra shit that you bring and everything, and this gets back to the advice that I had, but all the extra shit that you bring and you doing this and that, you might dress up and you might dress up at an elite level. Like, there are women who, when it comes down to makeup, like Fox don't do makeup. She just don't. Like, so it's just like, this is Fox.
I do makeup, but I don't do all that stuff that Fox they spend hours on YouTube
Fox
doing.
Does eyeshadow and lashes, like, and a lipstick, like that. To me,
not fake lashes.
No. You do the mascara. Yeah. She don't do the 35 millimeters where he's out here waving out the birthday candles. But so what I'm saying is, like, what I wake up to the same when she wake up. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there yawning, face unbrushed, face unwashed, teeth not brushed. It's like when I wake up to her, I wake up to the face that I expect to see. And I think too many times, like, I done known times where back in my horn days, I wake up and look at a woman and be like,
Bunny, whatever.
That ain't it. Bunny said Fox doing the minimum proves that God has favorites. Like,
I mean, it does prove that, but still, you're doing too much. Okay, you're doing too much.
Wow. So look at you got, hey, Bunny, cut that shit out, man. Hey, you my best friend. You ain't gonna have my old lady out here blushing and shit. Cut that shit out, Bunny. Hey, Ron Stewart, big homie.
You trying to flirt with me?
Hey, I'm telling you right now, I'll knock all this shit off. If I remove your RSVP from the wedding, I'll see you afterwards and send you pictures, Bunny. Ain't nobody playing with you.
I got 12 days. Oh,
Jesus Christ. Don't get me.
Guys, we need a videographer.
She said that's my bad.
We need a videographer, guys. Come through. Somebody come through with a videographer. Like,
come through, because I'm telling you right now, I'm literally about to grab one of y'all kids and give them my camera and tell them, like, hey, auto pan.
Y'all like to do TikTok videos and all that?
TikTok my whole goddamn wedding. Here's $100 on some pizza. Shut up, little homie. But hey, Ron said technology is a blessing and a curse for real. And we're at the point where we cannot turn back. Facts. Mm-hmm. Folks don't know what real beauty looks like. And it's not always what's on the outside, my opinion, old school. Facts, I get that, because, and that comes from the old tutelage of like, And it's two things that I wanted to hit. But that comes from the old thing of like, dudes know, and old school cats to tell you don't marry 10s. Because 10s ain't got shit else to offer except the fact that they're 10.
That's what my mama say. Don't talk to them. Hey, don't talk to them fine ones because they the devil.
Because
it cause you a lot of heartache.
This is the whole thing. This is the whole thing about it, right? Like being funny, right? Being funny comes from insecurities, right? Mm-hmm. Like so, being funny, being able to joke, me being able to walk into a room, and I walk into a room and you ain't never seen me uncomfortable in the room. Mm-hmm. I make everybody else in the room uncomfortable.
You just
before
like
me.
Demand everybody's attention. Like
not command and demand is two different. Demand would be like, look at me.
Well,
no,
command
is I might command attention, and it also helps that I'm 6'3", 270 like that.
Right, they gonna look, and then you capture it.
Yeah,
and then you roll with it,
and then I roll with it, so I can hold people's attention and stuff like that. But that comes from being medium handsome.
That's your problem right there. First of all,
we're not gonna do this right now. 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 We about to get married. You stuck with this shit. Deal with it. Fucking internalize that shit. Have an ulcer in 2 years. I'll take you to the hospital. Get the fuck over it. But we but it's I don't even know what I was saying. But like he's saying, it's like we can't turn back. So you don't marry 10s because a lot of times you don't get built with that skill set, right? Because it's like creative players. Like when I talk about my son having autism, right? When OG Chunks, you know what I'm saying, little doughboy, he got autism, but it's like he's so brilliant in other areas, right? So his brilliance in other areas is like, all right, cool. So he might not be as socially adept as other kids, but then it's like he'll wax your ass in long division and multiplication. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this dude just... I know you can't
because I don't really remember long division anymore. I feel embarrassed, but
I don't know.
I don't need it right now.
I don't know much division besides long division. I thought it was all long division.
No, it's not all long division.
I don't know. Math is... You know. I do math weird, but I get the right answer. So it got me enough for an engineering bachelor's degree. So here we is, right? But it's one of the, like, so to get back to what Ron's saying, it's like... It's not what he's saying, but what the cap on what he's saying. I'm not cap, but the
cap,
but the piggyback on what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like you deal with a woman who's a 10. A lot of times as a 10, you don't have to build those skills, right? So you date a dime or something like that, and you don't got to deal with those. You don't got to deal with those skills because she didn't have to make those skills, right? Like I had to make skills and bring more and develop more skills because I'm not the hazel-eyed, light-skinned cat that was in style, the genuine and this and that. It's like...
And you perfected that shit. That's all I'm going to say.
We are not doing this, Fox. We're not doing this, right? So back to what I'm saying. So I had to develop other skills. Like when you look at comedians are usually the most insecure people in the world, right? Like when you look at like Chris Rock, where Chris Rock has nonverbal learning disorder, which I believe that they diagnosed me with. So I'm just nowhere near as rich as Chris Rock. I need to do something with this nonverbal learning disorder. But
hope your podcast take you far.
Hope to us? Because what, you ain't gonna spend on this money? This become $1 million. This become $100 million podcast. You ain't gonna.
I'm gonna be behind the scenes, like, yo, do this, wrap that shit up, keep it going. That's what I'm saying.
So they don't wind up with those skills and that crazy skill set to do certain things, right? Because you don't have to, right? It's kind of like if you ever watch the Boondocks with that episode where Riley's out there, he dribbled crazy and like, oh, he's so good. He couldn't shoot the ball worth a damn because he didn't have to develop that skill. And that's what we do sometimes where beauty is actually a hindrance for some of your development because as a beautiful woman, you start laughing. You start laughing and stuff like that. It's like, oh, you make a joke and we over here like, I want some ass. Can I fuck?
Psycho. Get
yeah.
Hell on.
No, but that's what dudes is doing. If you telling corny ass jokes as a beautiful woman and you like, that's why it's like I respect. Like you could tell, I respect when if a beautiful woman got brothers and just decide to be like, I'm gonna tell a corny ass joke and see if y'all laugh. And everybody who laughs, she like ducks, get them out of here. You know what I mean? Duck. He ain't laugh, goose. You know what I mean? Because the fact of the matter is, you
just see it in a room, especially when guys are like focused on one person, it's one girl or something. I'm like, that shit was not even that funny. Yeah. She even looking like, oh, you know.
She was like, yeah. And now she coming back like on that what's that movie with the Wayans brothers, something like that. Keith Haring told me that joke. And she up here like, oh, that's a good joke. No, it's not a good joke. You just look fucking delicious right now. And it's the same thing with dudes. Like when dudes have power, like when dudes have power and you the CEO of a 500 company and you tell a corny ass joke, oh, Charles, oh yeah, and then go home and be like,
so brilliant.
And then they go home to their wife and be like, hey, Say this corny motherfucker Jaw said this dumb shit. I mean, I hope he die in a car crash so I can take over his VP and this and that, da 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 da. So it's kind of like people don't have to develop them skills. So it's like a lot of times it's just like you gotta pan that out. And then what I was getting back to about the relationship advice is just like be yourself, right? Like, and this is the best advice I can give anybody about a relationship is if you be yourself, you're gonna be less marketable to people. But if your end goal is actually love and actually to find somebody that understands you and accepts you for you and accepts your faults and all of that shit that you got, be yourself. So it's like if it's 100 people in the room, only 18 of them might say like, damn, I'm interested. But the fact of the matter is them 18 people is interested in you for you.
You know who come for you.
Yeah, they're not interested in you for what you could be or what you could pretend to be. They are you for you. Like I'm for Fox when she wake up in the morning and say, whining and had a bad dream and I want cuddles in the morning. And I'm for Fox with that, right?
I'm such a baby, guys. Like,
yeah.
I need my
but I accept Fox as that because Fox is unapologetic. One thing Fox gonna be, if you ever get a chance to meet Fox, let me tell you something. She's unapologetically herself.
Me.
Like, so it's either Fox ain't saying much, but if she's saying something, she's saying what the fuck came in her head. She ain't pulling no punches, this and that.
I ain't really think about it much, but I've learned I'm thinking a little bit.
Nah, let me tell you how much she's not thinking. Before we go ahead and shift back to these comments, we at the Taylor. The Taylor dude said something about, the dude who was making my suit for our wedding. Busting his ass to get my suit done. Got me coming in, my whole dashiki, short notice, boom, knocking it out, this and that. B Rabbit came through, my best friend, she came through, sent me the material and stuff like that because she just knew,
That's right,
on that
David,
shit.
That's right, blood motherfucking wrong.
Yeah, so it's like I came through with all of that shit, this and that, coming in, I'm sitting there, this dude got pins, stabbing him into the outfit. And then Fox, he said something about, oh yeah, well besides this, I do some acting and let me just tell you how Fox said it. While she's sitting there, look, I already told her about it. No, don't you? You're going to sit in this one. You're going to sit in this one. Okay. Fox going to sit there and tell old boy, he's like, oh, you be doing some little plays or something?
That's
you
not
disrespectful motherfucker. Like, I'm telling you right now, if I was him, switch me and him, I'm stabbing your old man in the chest with a pen. Sorry, your broad disrespect.
That was nowhere near how I meant it. I was just like, little plays because because he has his tailoring business. Plays. So, and it was me.
That's your little girlfriend.
We hate that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just me assuming like this is his primary business. Like, so he must be doing some plays because I ain't seen him in no movies. He ain't
how many actors you don't know?
He's not harping about movies that he's done or anything. So
because the dude ain't sitting there dragging his dick out. What he supposed to do? He's supposed to say, well, I'm supposed to come in and be like, hey, would you make me a suit? He like, do you know I'm a famous actor? All right, fuck you, bro. I'm out.
But he did say, yeah, I've done some plays or whatever. He smoothed his way in. He kind of silenced me without, doing his shit.
I need to go talk to him for more than suits. That's how to smoothly silence your stuff.
I did some plays or whatever, but I had stopped those for whatever the reason was, and now he's in doing movies now. And he told what kind of movies he's doing and some big one that's coming up now that everybody gonna know about apparently. So I was like, oh, okay.
He didn't even say all that. This is the crazy shit about how Fox hating ass be saying shit, right? He just said like, oh, I'm doing one in a bigger one that we're shooting more often. That have a bigger. He said he had a bigger role in it.
No, because he was explaining how he went to Jacksonville and how he got connected into the theater mob and all that stuff. And this is what
Fox took it as. All dude said, all the dude said, this gentleman said, I have one movie that I got a couple little parts in. Like I got some parts in, then I got a movie where I have a lot more parts in, and went to describe the movie. And Fox took that as, oh, it's a movie that everybody gonna know this and disrespectful.
No, he said it's a big movie. That's what he said.
He said it had a bigger role.
No, he said that was a big movie and a bigger role.
I'm gonna let you
okay. So anyway, I wasn't trying to be.
What's another name for this?
But it just comes. I've been thinking sometimes. I've been thinking about what I say sometimes.
Cat.
Look, I'm just raw and unfiltered. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like Dave said, blood fucking raw.
Hey,
so Wicked came through.
I'm like, but I'm the best kind of person though. Like you want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I can tell you all of those. It may not be the right way. I may be a little bit uncouth when I do so. However, I think that if you knew me, then you understand it's coming from a righteous
place.
Fox
is borderline a walking gaslight.
Okay.
Because Fox will sit there and be like, what? I'm just being honest on why I got to sugarcoat things.
Yeah,
let me be unfiltered with Fox too often.
That's not the same as gaslighting.
Yeah, it is, because you sitting there saying like, "Oh, I'm just being like, I'm just saying it like it is. I'm just telling it like it is." Sometimes you be being an asshole, and I know because I do it on purpose.
But I'm
you
gonna tell
do
it like it is, and let you know that I'm being sarcastic and an asshole as well. They all encompass the same thing. It's like,
we ain't even about to get into this episode of mental health. How you out here capping and gaslighting?
First of all, I don't cap. And
Capillaries.
I'm not gaslighting. Okay.
Captive.
I'm always 100.
Captain Planet.
It is what it is.
Captain America.
Anyway.
So anyway, Wick said, damn, where'd it go? Wick said, if you dated Don, she always knows she has options to leave if times get rougher than she can handle. I don't know, bro.
So you only gonna date somebody that's ugly to keep her?
Hey, Wick, I'm gonna tell you, bro. I be fucking with you the long way, but that's a confidence issue for you. You just like, hey, dimes don't be feeling me, so this and that, da 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 da. What I will say is that men do a way better job of staying in their range as far as physical beauty, because dudes are looking, be like, and I'm not saying everybody, but for the most part, let's take 100 dudes in the room. And they're average. Let's say we're all average. They all medium handsome dudes like myself. We'll look at somebody, like we'll look at a Rihanna. Everything that Rihanna got before getting pregnant, the whole nine, right? And we'll look and say, okay, I would love to hit Rihanna off. And we won't say like we deserve a Rihanna. We do this and that, because we know we don't deserve no damn Rihanna. Rihanna make more money than us. She beautiful. She is on this level. We're here, this and that. Women to sit there and look at like let's say like an Idris Elba, a Method Man, come and be like, man, I deserve a man like that. No, you don't. Capillary.
Anyway.
You ain't going to get it, so I don't know what you're saying, because, boy, I'm telling you right now. No. But I tell you what, won't be no Tikal Part 2 or 3 coming out.
Tikal. So basically, what? If I'm dead.
Anyway.
Listen.
Fuck you think you talking
David,
about?
Listen, for relationships, I want to like her because I know for a fact I'm not going to love her every day. I think you got it flipped.
Yeah, you might have that flip.
I think you got it flipped.
Because I love Fox every day, but I don't like her ass every day.
Yes, he don't like my ass every day and vice versa. Trust me.
Fine.
But you got to love that person. You know, you got to love that person.
I ain't saying you got to love him.
Love.
I ain't saying you got to love him, but.
Yeah, if you in that type of relationship with that person.
But you should.
Love her. But you're not going to like her every day. You're not going to like her every day. So I think you kind of got that part flipped, because who want to be with you knowing that you like me, but you ain't going to love me every day. So you love me today? Okay. You don't love me today? All right, let me just. That's weird. Like, no, you don't want to do that. It's flipped. So you want to love her.
Be sad.
But you don't have to like her every day. We're not going to like each other every day. And that's okay. And that is okay. So what y'all doing in the chat? What y'all thinking about in the chat? What's up? Let me know what's good.
Y'all start banging us or something in the chat. Let us know what y'all thinking, man. I'm about to get into the can't make this shit up.
Yeah, go ahead again today. We done.
Can't make this shit up. Let me tell you, this is a rough one. We're going to need some time for this. So, Louisiana teacher admits giving kids cupcakes laced with husband's sperm.
The what?
Louisiana teacher admits giving kids cupcakes laced with husband's sperm.
The fuck? Why would she do that? What the?
Yo, this is what I'm saying. Like, all right, and don't take this out of context. What I'm saying is, like,
my ear hurts.
I understand rape more than I understand this. Listen. Because it's like, what? How did you get? What did you get out of this? Like, rape, at least, is like you got control out of this. You're a sick person. Don't get me wrong. You're a terrible person, this and that. But if you brutally rape somebody, it's like, this is a control thing. You're mentally thrown off, this and that. You want to bust. It's all this shit. This is how you get off. You're a sick person, throw you in a wood chipper. Not saying that those are good people. But I can understand that more and be like, oh, this is why that happened. I don't even understand why this is a thing.
First of all, you baking your kids cupcake, which means you had to premeditate this. It ain't like he just nutted. Let me go and throw it in. Yeah. You saved it. You decided on a day where you was going to bake cupcakes for your kids at school, mix the batter with some cum, and like here, kids. So first of all, them kids must have really got on her nerves all goddamn year. Is
that what it is? There's so many other things you could do.
I know,
like
right?
Poison
but why her husband's
arsenic?
Sperm, though?
You could have gave the kids
arsenic. That. Let's read. Please tell me, because maybe you sound
like. Hey, you know what you sound like? Read.
Brewish. Read.
Read. All right, a sick Louisiana teacher has pleaded guilty to giving her students cupcake laced with her husband's sperm. Cynthia Perkins, 36 years old, admitted to a slew of disturbing sex crimes, including child pornography, second-degree rape, and mingling of harmful substances. I don't know how harmful it must be drugs or something. I don't know. When she took a plea deal in Livingston on Monday, the teacher and her now ex-husband, Dennis Perkins, were arrested in 2019 on more than 150 sex crime-related charges. 150.
They are both sick together.
Sick.
That's the thing.
They made for each other.
Oh my God.
They should bury their ass together.
So they concocted this whole idea. And
she ain't steal a cum.
You know what would be fun? If you just go ahead and put it in their battery and serve it to the kids.
Let me help you.
Did they eat it all? What that conversation was like when she got home? Oh, they ate every drop. And they did it. Like, he got off on that.
Let me tell you something right now.
My God,
the best thing that you go hope for is to go to jail.
Oh my God.
Forever.
Kids,
because let me tell you something. When I found out, it ain't no place that's safe for you. Like, if you go to a maximum security penitentiary, I might be willing to risk it all. I might be willing to risk it all and go on some Punisher shit and get you the fuck up out of here. Cynthia was also hit with the harmful substance charge after she put Dennis' sperm into cupcakes that she gave to students in Livingston Westside Junior High School, authorities say.
I see why that's, of course, harmful substance, because we don't know his DNA, nigga.
Wow. Let me go ahead and mark the tape right about here. Okay. Let's keep that going. I can see that you was a slight bit touched about that.
My hood done came out, guys. I'm sorry.
Boy, I tell you, you can take the girl out of Miami. Boy, you can't take the Miami out of the girl. All right, we're going to keep rolling. Under the plea deal, Cynthia has 68 other charges. 68 other charges against her dismissed, and will have to testify against Dennis at an upcoming trial. So she has 68 other charges, and they're only dismissing it, from what I read from that, is that they're only dismissing it because she's going to testify against Dennis, her husband. Now ex-husband, whatever.
She's gonna say, he made me do it. He told me.
Yeah, she's gonna talk a whole bunch of weak ass shit. But we live in a patriarchy, so she'll get away with it. But she got some time for this though. My B Rabbit already told me she got like 41 years. And in the chat, switching over to the chat, they said, "Let me tell you something. I'm going to leave your name out of this because I'm not even gonna hate on you like this and just let the people in the chat eat you up. That means cupcakes had extra frosting. What's wrong with that, sir?"
So go eat somebody extra frosting.
Sir. Hey, sir. I ain't even going to put your name out on that one. I'm just letting people in the chat eat your ass alive in your DMs. I ain't even going to do you like that.
Hey, you suck.
Hey, bad decision.
You suck.
That's a bad decision. That ain't the hill to die on right there, bro. But B Rabbit said, bring back cruel and unusual punishment. I think it's only unusual if we don't do it enough. That should be cruel and usual punishment right about now. We should have been bringing that shit back for a while. Every parent of each child should be allowed to choke them to the brink of death and then stop every day. That's legit.
I agree.
That's legit.
Yeah, I like that.
And I should be able to choke you however I want to choke you. Like, I ain't just coming in there with the fishing line. It got to be some choking where it's like,
them kids, they had to get tested for so many different things. They had to, oh my God, that's just terrible.
Yo, Dave said Dave Newman, he said, with my job, I want to bring back the firing squad. Yeah. I think the firing squad, me and B Rabbit was talking about it yesterday. We think that some of those punishments is too quick. Like when people give you lethal injection and stuff like that. It's torture.
To
bring back like she said, bring back the horses.
Hard and painful death.
Yeah, she was saying like bring back the horses, the medieval torture method where they put the horses tied to four limbs.
Oh, and just
pulling in four different directions. Yeah. I
agree.
No, I think that might be too quick. It depends on what the horse is on. Now, what you get out of it.
You gotta tease them.
No, I want the crank. No, I want the crank. I want the crank where I just hit you.
That's well, it'll be the same thing.
No, but I know this is controlled.
And they won't die from having their limbs ripped apart. They won't
if
die
they don't get cauterized.
Well, the head is a different story. However, the limbs.
No, I'm talking about the limbs. If you'll bleed out.
Well, it's not going to be right away though.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like I need the torture of a couple of clicks a day till you got painful.
Like they sick.
No, we sick. We ain't putting shit in no cupcakes. Like, We ain't doing like this. We're going to a reputable professional for cupcakes at our wedding, so you ain't got to worry about no foolishness like this.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about it. If you got
he said, Dave said, I'm aiming for the dick. He said, if you do the 21, the firing squad, he like, I'm aiming for the dick every time. I'm gonna know when I had the bullet. Punishment, Wicked said, punishment is okay, but the death penalty is too harsh because there's no return. Yeah, me and B Rabbit talked about that. We said that we not with the death penalty unless it's like unarguable proof where it's like we got video of you doing all this wild shit and we don't have the technology to do all that. Like without a doubt, we know like this is the CCTV cam or something like that, and something like we got.
Then the problem with that is that people will think that that doesn't really justify a death penalty, or that wasn't. My whole thing is eye for an eye. What's good?
I'm biblical with that shit.
Is good. For
you want to give that? I'm up here like, yo,
that is me.
It's like if you brutally raped a woman in the alley, you know what you should do?
Your ass.
You should get raped with a spiked baseball bat in the ass, like Negan from what's that? Walking Dead. And then we spoke about this at work. Mass incarceration is my choice method. I just feel like them dudes got like long as you suffer, bro. Long as you suffer. Also, B Rabbit said also the death penalty is too much of the easy way out. Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah,
that's what me and you talked about. But that's what we saying.
That's
it's like,
right. Yes, eye for an eye.
Get him out of there. Yeah, eye for eye. 100%. Yes, it's up here like biblical with this shit, man. It's up here like this. What you did? You raped a woman and brutally raped her. Okay, cool. You're gonna get raped to death. Like you gonna get ab with plunges in that.
You gotta.
Yeah. You ain't just gonna get raped. It's like you gonna get raped to the point of damn near death every day. Like every day. Like we gonna run it up a notch. So get back to that article. All right. So she not only waived any right to an appeal in an attempt to avoid conviction, but she also spared the victims from reliving the horrific crimes during this particular trial. Louisiana Attorney General said.
Yeah, that's crazy. At least she had a conscience to do that.
No, she ain't do that. She was just trying to get out of some shit. Fuck her, folk people who look like her. Yeah, these crazy clowns right here, right? So she'll be sentenced to 41 years in prison. Yo, B Rabbit brought it up. B Rabbit brought it up where she brought it up that women don't even be getting as big. Like me and you could do the same the same crime. I get 50 years, you might get 15.
Yeah, so
women don't get sentenced as hard as men.
That's the thing because they feel, she's a woman and
whatever.
And,
but she got 41 years for non-violent crimes.
Oh, she can't handle this and
Yeah, she got 41 years for non-violent crimes. So you got to understand how wild she was.
36, 40.
She filed for divorce from her husband in the wake of the arrest and alleged that Dennis had manipulated her into committing the crimes. So exactly like we said.
It's stupid regardless because she's like, okay, even if you want to deal with your sicko husband, okay, I'm going to make the cupcakes or whatever. Make a different batch. Give it to the kids. Yeah. Throw that shit out in the trash. Deal with your own problems. These kids are innocent. It has nothing to do with whatever you're dealing with at your home. Your home.
Yeah. So Dennis is scheduled to face trial, 150 criminal charges. Hey, yo, fuck them 4 people that live who
That's
look
terrible.
like them. I say we fillet them motherfuckers, throw them in the wood chipper on choke, turn it off, cauterize the wounds, torture them, tie them to 4 horses, pull them, rip some shit up. Like, yo, you just deserve wild shit to happen. Kids, the only thing that's innocent left in this world. Adults, some kind of like you earn with you eat what you kill.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow.
And it's crazy too, because regardless of the amount of trauma that they've been through, obviously in their childhood, growing up to be the type of adults that they are. At a certain point, though, you kind of like, nah, we're not doing this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Last thing on this, Dave said, got to castrate them first. Yeah, I'm talking about the twig and the berries.
But you can't just castrate immediately. You gotta snip next day.
Leave a little bit of cauterize while still on.
Snip next day.
Yeah, little snips, Maybe 1 millimeter
let
at a
it
time.
Heal a little bit for 2 days, 3 days.
Cauterize.
Come back again. You gotta do it. It's a method to it now.
Cut, yeah. And then he said the reason I don't care for the death penalty is because it's some people out here sitting on death row for 20 plus years wasting my tax dollars. Because at my job now, we got this guy that's been on death row since 1954.
Yeah, see, that's crazy.
1954? That's exactly how I read it, Dave.
But
yeah,
listen, the only thing, I agree with that. It's a waste of time because I feel like you don't give me the death penalty, do it within a week, right? But there's also people who's been wrongfully accused.
That's what he's talking about. That's
the death penalty.
That's our issue with the death penalty.
Yeah,
that's what Wicker was saying, and that's what me and B Rabbit was talking about. That's our issue with the death penalty is like you can't say my bad. Like even if you lock somebody up for 10, 20 years and be like, damn, we just found this, like the twins we was talking about. We found this exonerating evidence. Go ahead and run. Well, if we killed you, it's kind of like, yo, tell your family my bad, cuz.
I'm sorry.
My bad. People also get
now
acquitted
you
from
need to
death
go.
row too. Yeah,
You need to
yeah.
go.
But then that's crazy because it's like people like if people doing it
judge,
right
yeah.
and they judging you off the evidence that they provided, then you can't blame them either. But let's get in this gun to your head, Fox. You said it's gun to your head time. What time is it, baby? Let's do it.
So you don't forget all this. Gun to your head.
I got pissed like a racehorse. Let's go.
I had to be for a long time.
But you got a woman
like
bladder. Nah, I'm telling you right now, I'd be like Rocky. I'm gonna piss right on the floor.
Oh, we know you left the whole podcast for 5 minutes to.
I will open this back door and piss right out this goddamn back patio. Let's go.
We deleting all this from the official because he's not doing this.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Would you rather sleep with your spouse for the rest of your life? I don't know.
I like that.
Or sleep with many women and never be able to sleep with your spouse again while living together. But we ain't ending right now. You can answer this question.
Let me tell you right now, I'm gonna be with my spouse. I'm gonna sleep with you, baby. We about to get married in 2 weeks. You think I would? Like, let's say I felt a different way. Let's say hypothetically that I felt a different way. You think that I'm dumb enough to say this shit 2 weeks before our wedding?
It don't even matter what you're dumb enough to say. You gotta say how you feel. You gotta be 100%.
I love you.
I know you do.
And
spouse all day if I had one.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, that's right.
You're my favorite place to be.
That's right.
You're my favorite place to be.
So my good answer, legend.
Wait, don't do me like that, homie.
Nah, you can have who you want. You just ain't gonna have
I choose you.
I know you do. You better.
In the words of a young black poet, I choose you.
Both of them.
Look
Ain't
at
no
B.
both of them. Ain't no both of them because, like, okay, so you're a woman, so sleep with many men or
many men.
Men, and we're not starting. I'm rubbing off on you. I see.
The singing song.
Or not sleep with your spouse ever again and still live in the same household with him.
So basically, she's saying you can, as a man, you can crack all the cheeks you want and not sleep with your spouse, or sleep with your spouse every day.
But you ain't cracking my cheeks.
Look at B Rabbit. Not men.
Men.
I ain't even gonna do it. Nah, spouse. LOL. Nah, ain't nobody trying to. Yo, I'm gonna need the homie Eric to tap in on this podcast. I'm gonna have to.
Who, Eric, you said?
My spouse can sleep with other men as long as I don't find out about it. Oh, I thought that was B Rabbit said that again. I was like, what? We have to regroup. No, he said my spouse can sleep with other men as long as I don't find out about it. You know what, Wig? Ain't nothing. There ain't nothing worse than the dead John letter, brother. You got it. Go ahead and let her get her cheeks cracked, and then when you hop in there, you be like, hello.
Whatever.
If these walls could talk, in the words of Kendrick Lamar, if these walls could talk, like,
that's what y'all worst fear is. Like,
nah,
you just
dick in the shirt sleeve, hot dog in the hallway. Yo, I'm done with you. What's your answer, man? And if I'm gonna tell you right now, peer pressure. What's your answer? Because ain't nobody gonna put it down like me anyway. So you can live that lust if you want to.
To cat. I'm just playing, baby. You know, I choose you, baby.
You got the rest of the podcast. Do your thing.
Anyway, I'm choosing my bae, of course. So, look at me. Ain't nobody put it down like me. That's what y'all be worried about? Somebody putting down like something? Eric, she said, whore.
Fucking whore.
Oh, my goodness. You guys, y'all a trip. I swear I don't know what to do with y'all. But anyway, so it'll be you, babe, of course. Okay? All these other men, and then you, it's like, deal with the devil you know rather than the devil you don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's how. He said he going to edit the podcast. You going to edit? Oh, my God. He's a little touched. But I love you, though.
What up?
This is a part of our love. See, David, this is what it means. Like, he loves me, but he don't like me right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's understandable. I can understand that. However, this love right here.
Yo. Eric, let me tell you something, brother. Fucking that's how we say it here on the podcast.
Say hey, people.
Oh yeah, y'all ain't seen Coco in a long time.
Coco got big. Look at her.
You just got her private parts out?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, damn, you got her whole.
It's in front of my face.
Back it up. Come here, Coco.
The big girl.
Hey baby. Y'all see Coco all big and shiny. All right. We not them type
Rocky
of
upstairs sleeping with his greedy self.
Coco is 3 months old. Look at her.
Yeah, she looks so big. She was like a quarter.
Y'all saw when she first came out. Coco, you want to say anything?
From here to here. Now look at her. That was enough. They said,
y'all
hey,
heard
Coco.
that sniff. Y'all heard that sniff.
Trying to see if y'all real or not. Like, she don't be playing. She knows
Coco,
spirits.
Look,
trust
that's you.
me. She knows spirits. You look at y'all. Be barking at folks she don't like.
All right, so what we got? Because you already done broke my heart.
Anyway, babe, I love you. It's gonna always be you. Already know that. I always choose you over and over again 1,000 times. Okay.
Let me tell you something. You ain't gotta tell me no lies.
I don't tell no lies. My baby don't
Coco.
stand no
Coco, say.
Coco better not even nothing.
Say hooer.
Slap her ear.
Coco, say hooer.
He said, I just say, refer back to my previous statement. Whatever. He is not going to not love me. That's number one. So he don't have a choice in the matter. Like, this was preordained before we got here. He chose this. Understand?
This is my bottom bitch right here.
So this was always going to be. Oh, you can't do that because Peter said you can't call them out their name. They don't want to be my dog.
Hold on. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something before we No. Let me have this. So Peter came out with a statement where they said they don't want they don't want people to be called animal names. Like, so don't call. I get the whole don't call women bitches. That's more of a woman thing. But they said when you call people chicken or a duck or something like that, that's disrespectful to the animal. Let me tell you who didn't ask to be called the dog.
You're the goat. She did.
She did not ask to be called the dog.
No dog. Oh, you a doggy? No, you're not.
The problem is if I bring my boy out, because she about 3 months and Rocky right behind her by like 3 weeks. He tried to eat the microphone. Rocky will eat everything. Yeah. But this is Coco. So y'all know maybe if y'all holler at us, you know what I'm saying, once we have some puppies between the two of them, we might post a picture. We might sell.
Oh my God, guys, listen. This is why I'm so upset. Wait, let's end the podcast first, and then we're gonna talk about that. End the podcast first, okay?
Well, you got to do it. I got a dog.
So thank you all for sitting with us in Uncle Legend's Corner. We appreciate your support and your feedback that you've been giving us. Hit us up, AskUncleLegend.com if you have any feedback, if you have any suggestions for the show, or if you want to be on the show. AskUncleLegend@gmail.com. Peace. Okay, so anyway.
Hold on, let me kill the audio first. Let me kill a podcast. Don't nobody need all this extra shit you about to do.
So, guys, I was so upset, right? You know, they're like 12, Coco 12, 13 weeks.
Go get my boy Rocky.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get Rocky in a second, but.
Let me mute my mic.
Rocky was sniffing her stuff. And he was like humping.
Hey, no, she said he came out with the Jamaican legs like. He was. I was like, how do they know they are babies? They just barely know how to make their way around the house. And he already sniffing her stuff and humping. What am I going to do? I'm not ready for this. I am not ready as a dog mom on telling or keeping them apart. They shouldn't be doing this.
His little wee wee was out and everything. I'm so mad. I'm so upset about this. Stop. Don't be
Bust
putting
it
my
wide
baby
open.
stuff.
Bust it wide open.
Don't be putting my baby stuff out there for the world.
I ain't put her bottle.
Coco, consent. I was right. Consent. Okay.
Help.
This is crazy, guys. I was so unprepared for this. Okay. I could, to my instinct. Coco is a beautiful body. She's a fine, you know.
Yo, go get my boy. Go get my boy. That's right, B Rabbit. Instinct. Hey, Beanie. Bring Rocky on down here. Coco, we about to bring your man down here. Yo, this is a beautiful dog. Literally instinct. And Coco was tooting that shit up for him like, look at Coco. And she got green eyes. You don't even understand how beautiful this brown face is. And she got this little spot on the back of her neck. Let me tell you something. That's a beautiful dog. That's a beautiful dog. You too can get one of these legendary operations pit bulls in a year and a half. God, dog it.
So this is Rocky, guys. He has gotten so big. We never showed him. We only showed pictures of him because he was so sickly when we got him. He was literally ribs. Ribs about half his size.
Take one. You got to hold him up like Simba.
Oh, like this?
Look, he might have the Jamaican legs out right now.
No.
Coco bigger than Rocky, so she don't got to take that shit.
She don't. When she get tired of him sniffing around her, she bark. She bark. Keep the puppies off the pole. No doggy strip clubs. What? I know. So I was so upset that this happened. They're both beautiful dogs. Like, he's gray, as you can see, with gray eyes. And he's a beautiful, strong breed now. He was a little sickly. I didn't think he was going to make it.
She had her doubts, but your boy is a dog whisperer.
You did a good job.
I got him on a raw diet, new pro, dying. My big brother Khalil helped out with a lot of that, gave me some knowledge dealing with these dogs.
Yeah, and he's so greedy. Like, I swear, he's the greediest dog in America. He whine and cry like somebody's killing him just because he wants some food or he thinks somebody got food that he wants. So, yeah, we are dog parents, guys. You can tell when the family doing good. The dogs don't look hungry. Yeah. They looked hungry when we got them because, boy, they was they was a little sickly.
Anybody who's still in, can you still hear us? Because I accidentally stepped on it by getting attacked by Rocky. Mm-hmm. Rocky.
Yeah, so we plan on, you know, when they get of age, because clearly they not, but this one right here, this horn dog, move him away. This horn dog here is trying to get my baby. She's not ready. She's only 13 weeks. Like, this is a baby. Okay? 13 weeks old. Just trying to discover it. Just starting to explore on the other side of the property.
Okay.
Like, we're not doing that.
We out
here. Crazy.
Yo, look at this dude, man. This dude was 2.5 pounds with worms. Look at his fatness right here.
Yeah. He was so skinny. Right, you could see every single rib.
And his spine. Every bump on his spine.
Oh, my
Dog
God.
whisperer.
It was terrible. It was terrible. But, yeah, he's in tip-top shape. The vets love him. They're all beautiful, shiny coats, healthy, and terrorists, menaces to society. Right? Right, Coco? All right, guys.
Y'all got anything else for us? Because we just showing off our dogs because we love them.
Showing off our babies.
Pit bull puppies. You want to say anything, Rocky? All right, well.
Them dogs is relaxed because they got trachea.
Nah, we paying for these visits, bro.
Okay.
They on base, but I'm paying for these visits. What was the last visit? Almost $200?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like $200 just for that vet visit. Yeah, y'all got anything for us? Because we got to let the dogs out. So we want to entertain and do our thing. Ruff, 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 ruff.
All right, guys. So once again, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. We'll pop some sporadic ones up.
This was sporadic because Fox went and got me out here. Like, I was laying on the bed thinking shit was sweet. Nah, bruh.
Ain't shit sweet. You know I got to do a little something to keep you alive. You know what I'm saying?
And if anybody asking, we not cropping ears and we not docking tails. They just going to be big, floppy-eared, long-tailed monsters.
That's right. They're going to be who nature
Let them
intended
be what
them
they
to
did.
be.
We feed them raw diets. We love them. We don't do all that mouth kissing and all that crazy. You see this right here? He know what time it is. I don't play that shit.
Cheeks.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yo. All right. Yo, peace, love, nappiness, happiness, all that great shit. What's this on your chest?
What's she eating? I weigh some liquor and she's, oh my God.
Rocky, say, roof, 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 roof. Don't lick me. Don't lick me.
All right, guys.
Don't do that. Peace.
We
Love y'all for getting the show. Wick, thanks for the love. Anybody who watched the show, we really appreciate y'all. We was all over the place with this one. Dogs make it hard. I'm not gonna do a good job editing this on the audio, so you're gonna get all of this shit probably, but it is.
We're not getting all of this. Like,
okay, Fox is editing the audio, so you might not get none of it.
Or I tell him which parts he need to cut out, so we good. All right, you guys.
Hit end string.